If you told me 2 years ago we would be seeing Doctor Strange from the MCU talking to Professor X from the Fox X-Men universe, Michael Keaton reprising his role as the Batman, and the cinematic multiverse breaking 3 times in a single year, I would have thought you were crazy. What a year we have coming up for superhero movies, and what a year we've had. So many jaw-dropping moments were lived out in theaters this year, with so many more to come. This slate is looking extremely full, so we're going to go over just what you can expect in the world of superheroes as we come up on these next amazing films. Hi, I'm Michael J. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We're going to dive into all of these movies, but before you do, be sure to go down and hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the new movies and shows coming out soon. We also have a Discord server where you can find other people to talk with and meet new friends who all love the same stuff that you do. I'll leave a link in the comments. Come say hi. First up on our list, we have Thor: Love and Thunder, which looks like it's going to be an epic adventure injected with Taika Waititi's signature formula of Red Bull and rainbows. The release date for this is currently set for July 8th. Christian Bale has been cast as Gorr, the God Butcher, and Russell Crowe has been cast as Zeus. Do you think it's a coincidence that Marvel casts a god and then a God Butcher? In the comics, Gorr, the God Butcher's family, was killed and he blames the gods for not stopping it. He ends up swearing vengeance on his family's graves to kill the gods. Gorr eventually managed to kill a weak god named Null and steal his weapon, All Black the Necro Sword. The Necro Sword was powerful because it was a host to a symbiote. What if that symbiote left by Venom at the end of No Way Home somehow finds its way to Gorr? Or maybe this flat out introduces a second symbiote to the MCU. Gorr would be super overpowered and would really feel like a villain who has some gravity to him. And if they really want to make Gorr terrifying, they could have him butcher our favorite god of thunder. Thor isn't confirmed for any more appearances past Love and Thunder. Could you imagine a final battle where Gorr kills Thor and then Jane Foster is alone to fight this menacing god butcher? I mean, I hope they don't kill off Thor, but they did kill off Iron Man, and they're going to be starting to move on to their younger heroes in this next phase. I can just imagine the theater if this happens in the movie. Jane Foster is someone else I want to talk about. In all the promotional material for Thor 4, she has the Mjolnir, but if you remember back to Thor Ragnarok, which came out 5 years ago now, Hela crushed Mjolnir into 1,000,000 pieces, so how is it back? Did Eitri the dwarf from Infinity War build a new one? Or did he somehow glue all the scraps back together with some kind of ancient magic? We also know that most of the Guardians will be back for this movie because if you remember at the end of Endgame, Thor leaves with the Guardians to go on some adventures and maybe borrow Star-Lord's Bowflex for a couple of workouts.
It's a real wake-up call for me. Okay, I'm gonna get a Bowflex.
Thor and Star-Lord's comedic dynamic was hilarious in Infinity War and Endgame, and I can't wait to see more of them protecting the universe in this movie. Now, next up, with a current release date of May 6, 2022, Doctor Strange has a lot on his plate. In the trailers for Multiverse of Madness, we see Strange having nightmares about the universe collapsing. That's because he's not only protecting our universe, he's protecting all of the universes. After Loki, WandaVision, and No Way Home, the multiverse is more damaged than Wanda after Thanos ended her Golden Boy for the first time, and from the looks of the trailers, it's not gonna get any better. We know that something out there wants to get a hold of America Chavez, who is a new character for Multiverse of Madness, and her power is that she is able to jump around throughout the multiverse. So when she shows up in our universe with a so-called tentacly friend, Doctor Strange is a little concerned since something is trying to capture her to use her powers. Who could it be? Is it Mephisto? No, it's never going to be Mephisto. Mephisto's not happening. I mean, will it? But it could be Wanda Maximoff, maybe on a mission to use America Chavez to find a universe where her kids are real. What if we see a scene where they jump through different universes? They could go to the Fox X-Men universe and say hi to Deadpool, or the universe of one of the comics or cartoons. The possibilities are just endless. Well, that is until the Illuminati show up. The Illuminati is someone else watching over the multiverse along with the Watcher from What If and the TVA from Loki. But honestly, the Illuminati has to be the best because it's just one giant group of cameos. We could see so many past Marvel characters coming back, like Eon Griffith's Reed Richards, Deadpool, or even Professor X, played by Patrick Stewart. Or we could see animated characters even coming to live action, like Captain Carter maybe. Or we could see variants of our favorite heroes, like Tom Cruise as Iron Man, or Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel. I feel like after Captain Marvel, Maria Rambeau had so much potential to be an awesome character, but in WandaVision, she's just dead. She's not in the picture. It would be so cool if they bring her back with superpowers that rival Wanda's. We could actually see a fight happen between some of the most powerful superheroes in Marvel. This movie just blows me away with all the possibilities of everything that could happen in it. And with rumors of Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man returning, we might be able to see a full-fledged live-action Spiderverse one day, which brings us to our next movie. Spider-Man Across the Spiderverse is a sequel to what arguably is one of the best animated superhero movies of all time. But in the short little teaser we got some big news. First off, it's only part 1, which means they have a big plan for their Spider-Verse, which is good considering some powerful person out there wants to destroy it. I personally think the villain of this movie has a few cool options. Now, I don't necessarily want a main Spider-Man villain like Doc Ock or Green Goblin to take the spotlight here. I think it would be cool to see someone more original as the bad guy. What if we see an evil version of Spider-Man trying to kill off all the others so that he's the only one left? Or what if they introduce Morlun for the first time in a movie? Morlun is a part of a group called the Inheritors, a group of vampires who run around the multiverse hunting down spider people and feeding on their life force. Imagine they go to a universe where it's all dark and then it just turns into a horror movie where the vampires show up. I think that would be insane. This movie is set to come out October 7th, 2022, which thankfully is not that far away. This movie is going to be so good. I can't wait for the time to flash by. But speaking of The Flash, that is the next movie we have coming soon, hopefully. The Flash's movie just got delayed again from November 4th, 2022 to June 23rd, 2023. Hopefully the wait will be worth it because we are finally getting a solo Ezra Miller Flash film for the very first time. Personally, I'm hoping we get a little cameo from Grant Gust, but we're also getting the return of some dead villains, as well as probably the most exciting thing to come from this film, Michael Keaton reprising his role as the Batman. Plus, we're finally getting a Supergirl, in the DCEU. The dead villains being General Zod from Man of Steel, which is huge, and his second in command who was sent to the Phantom Zone by Superman at the end of his movie. That means that Man of Steel ended differently in this timeline. That's right, this timeline because this movie is based on the comic Flashpoint, where Barry Allen uses the Speed Force to go back in time and save his mother from being murdered. But because of the butterfly effect, several changes happen that only Barry notices. That's how we get Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck back as Batman and Supergirl coming in when she was never there before. Which means most likely Superman died fighting Zod and Man of Steel. Plus, Ezra Miller himself described Barry as a multi-dimensional hero with human flaws. That means we're probably going to see Barry struggling as he runs the line of a bunch of moral choices as he usually does while messing with time. Should he fix the world and make it normal again, but his mom's dead now? Or should he leave the world messed up and changed and have an alive mom? This movie sounds so good, but according to some rumors, just like The Flash himself, his movie is going to make some major changes to the DC universe. If several rumors are true, this movie is going to remove Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill and have them replaced by Michael Keaton's Batman and Supergirl. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to see Keaton come back as Batman. Batman 1989 is so good, and it's so cool that we finally get to see Keaton putting the cowl back on after so long. We've got another movie coming out this summer, scheduled for July 29th currently, featuring The Rock as Black Adam. I think this installment into the DC world of superheroes is going to be really exciting. It's going to be really interesting to see The Rock take on this villain anti-hero character. From what we've seen so far in the teaser, it looks like it's going to be absolutely brutal. I really hope they don't hold anything back and they lean into the villain aspect as hard as they need to for story's sake. We're also getting introduced to a few new characters with this movie, including some members of the Justice Society. Hawkman, played by Aldous Hodge, can't wait to see this character on the big screen. Atom Smasher, played by Noah Centineo, which is surprising to say the least. It'll be interesting to see this actor take on a superhero role for the first time, since the majority of his past work has been targeted to women with Netflix rom-coms. I mean, I think that everyone was pleasantly surprised with Robert Pattinson's portrayal of the Batman, which just goes to show how much we should be open-minded to new people entering this space. We're also going to get to see the Sorcerer, Dr. Fate, played by Pierce Brandon Brosnan, which I think might be one of the most exciting to see. And then we're also getting introduced to Cyclone, played by Quintessa Swindle. Cyclone is a hero with the ability to manipulate wind and sound, which should play into this movie very interestingly. So happy that Shazam did well, and I'm excited for the second one. I think this spin-off is going to do really well. I can't wait until we get to the point where they do a crossover movie and we see Shazam and the rest of his family go up against Black Adam in his prime. Fingers crossed, this movie looks like it's going to be a lot darker than your average superhero superhero film? I guess only time will tell. And then later next year, June 2nd, 2023, we are getting Shazam 2, Fury of the Gods, which will feature most of the original cast returning to their roles, and Zachary Levi, who plays Shazam, confirmed a while back that The Rock's Black Adam will not be making an appearance in this film. If and when they do a crossover, it'll be the film after this one. But this film does introduce Helen Mirren as Hespera and Lucy Liu as Calypso, the daughters of Atlas, who are coming to Earth and will be wreaking havoc for whatever reason they will be. We're also going to get to see our new heroes as they try to balance their lives as these superheroes along with their normal kid/teen lives on the side. In the teaser, they took the time to show off a few of the beasts and monsters they're going to feature in this movie, which look incredible. All the suits ended up getting upgraded as well. Just overall, bigger production and a bigger movie in general. Since the first film was met with such high praise and it did so well, now they have the budget and ability to lean fully into the spectacle of superhero films and make something that's incredible. I just hope that they don't stray too far from their roots and it's still a great movie and feels like Shazam. Overall, the next year, us superhero movie fans are really going to be pretty happy with what we're getting. Let me know in the comments what movie you're looking forward to most. And until next time, I will see you in the comments. Peace.